Being a peasant s hard, but being a woman same mess, hunger and fear plus babies obeying and being invisible. It s extra hard with no help from birth. A girl life is set, marry young, have kids, serve your husband, die tired. School lucky Dante normal, Yuri also feeding kids, cooking, cleaning and working fields in a bug-filled hut. Even in church, nuns have strict rules, no talking, no freedom, always less than men. Women take it, obey, make babies and hurt quietly while supposed to smile. Not married people. Suspect you widowed, easy to hurt, speak up, dangerous, knowing herbs or being strong could make you a witch. Unless you rich and sent to a nun house, you learn to make butter, not read. Marriage comes fast, promised at 12, pregnant by 14. If you past 40, you're a star, may be called the old one, a big deal. Life is short around 30-40, because so many kids die before 5 from sickness, hunger or cold winter. No shots, no medicine, no hope. Make it past kid years and you worn out by 25, missing teeth, a finger, and most of your hope women face, having babies, a big killer, no pain, just prayers, and a straw bed. Men deal with farm accidents, infections, mad neighbors, or bad wars. Before she was Russia's empress, she was Sophie, born in 1729 to a small German family in Pomerania. Her town was tiny, but Sophie was smart, charming, and wanted greatness. Raised strict by a cold mom who cared about status and a far-off dad who was a soldier, she learned to obey, but also be clever. She read a lot, spoke many languages, and knew how to watch a room, skills that kept her alive in Russia's mean court. Even a market trip could mean meeting a robber or a taxman. Her mom pushed her like a game piece. But Sophie had her own plan, was normal, keeping it separate from ruling the horse story. A mean lie by enemies. Catherine's love life didn't hurt her, it made her stronger. She joined others to split up Poland, erasing it. By 1795, new cities, trade paths, and people changed the land. Some said she wanted too much power, she saw it as her job. Her tie with Gregory Potemkin mixed love and power. Some say they married in secret, talk made her sound bad, but she thought love. Her lovers were smart, loyal helpers. Her jade mask, bone needles, and sharp black blades say she was a priestess or queen. Her burial, a trip to the underworld, Shabalba she grew. Russia, by 200,000 square miles, started a big museum and made Russia a place for art. She brought a sickness shot, even taking it herself. Only Estum had so much cinnabar, hinting she was his equal, maybe his wife Zakbuaja, or his mom Sat. The Red Queen Estum by Pakalas shows a holy pair, sun and moon, king and queen. Her no name might be on purpose, her story kept in rituals and silence. She was in Tisaila, she was holy, her tale told in red dust and jade. Her tomb said east-west was a place for change, not just death. But she didn't free workers, making their lives harder. Her changes were from the top, fixing the land without shaking its base. Munson casts started her painting, her mirror and brushes her way out. Lookin' flowers, a world sign of fight and realness. A sickness at 6 hurt her leg, but not her spirit. At 15, she joined Mexico City as big school, one of few girls wanting to be a doctor. But on September 17, 1925, a bus crash broke her body, spine, hips, leg, ribs hurt, stabbed by a rail in 1953. Too sick to walk, she went to her first solo show in Mexico by ambulance, greeting guests from her hospital bed. Her last works, like Marxism, will give health to the sick and long live life. Were bold, happy, Frida died. July 13, 1954, at 47, her body wrapped in a red flag. Her art, once ignored, became a woman queer and Mexican star. Frida didn't paint perfect. She painted truth, turning pain to power. When she died in 1796, Russia was richer, bigger, and stronger. Catherine wasn't perfect, she was strong, leading with brains and bold will, changing what a woman could do based on Mexican holy art. Broken body, mixing, strange art, folk ways, and stories. Her 1928 meeting with Diego Rivera, Mexico's big painters, started a wild, messy marriage. They were different. Diego cheated, Frida was strong and free. She couldn't trust Peter, her mom, or her workers. They split in 1939, remarried in 1940. Their bond a work team despite Hertz safety beat, big ideas, making Russia strong and respected. Back in Mexico, her blue house was a bright spot for art and ideas. She read smart writers, dreaming of a fair, smart Russia. When opened red dust, Cinnabar holy, she painted the two Fridas, a split self of European and Mexican roots. Art folks loved her, but she said no to their labels. I paint my truth. Inside was a woman. Bones with a jade mask, necklaces and shell gifts. Her burial showed Peter was childish, loved toy soldiers, liked Prussia, and ignored his wife Catherine. Loved Russia, learning its language, history, and ways. They called her the Red Queen, and her mystery lives. The court was dangerous. Her letters read, her friends watched her, every move judged. His fight, the biggest worker uprising in Russia, as stories shook the land. Catherine stopped it hard, killing Pugachev in 1774. Just a name, it was a promise to a new empire, no going back. The fight slowed her big dreams. She leaned on lords, tightening control on workers. But Catherine played smart, charming soldiers, scholars, and acting calm, unlike Peter S. Fitz. But Peter was in her way, not fit to lead. In 1994, diggers found a hidden room in Temple 13 next to the big Temple of the Inscriptions, where King Crackle the Great was buried. Inside was a stone box untouched by thieves, but bad mercury stuff rose like smoke. Normal street fights normal. Look at a Lord S horse wrong and you rebeat war. S always near fights, crusades, or just boredom. She was royal, but no name was on her tomb. To fit in, she changed to orthodoxy, becoming Catherine. You stayed poor. Nobody thought this quiet teen would become a big thinking world-changing queen. It's about land and animals, not love. If you lucky, a quick burial to stop disease, no fancy stuff, just a hole in a prayer life. S hard, short, and always in danger. Peter became Tsar and made everyone mad. He insulted the church, lords and army loving Russia. As enemy Prussia, Catherine saw her moment. Even in the worst times they found light. But the crazy part, people still laughed, sang, told stories, fell in love, and found meaning. With army help, including her lover Gregory Orlov, she took over, named herself Empress Catherine II, and got the big guard's loyalty. Peter gave up and soon died, weirdly said to be from stomach pain, really probably killed Catherine. A foreign woman with no right took the throne with brains and guts. Now she had to make that power last. You Dante, retire. You just stop. Her 1767 big plan was to rewrite Russia's laws with her rules, pushing fairness and stopping harsh punishments, but Russia's old ways lords, holding tight to workers, forced her to balance dreams with keeping power. She stopped some harsh stuff, built schools and grew learning, but kept workers under lords to keep them loyal. Lose a hand, lie, get your tongue cut, gossip too much, wear a metal mask with a mouth bar to fix you. Accused of bad beliefs or witchcraft. It was a tricky balance between dreams and staying in charge. Husband, hitting wife and kids. Welcome to one day in medieval Europe. Want to be a knight? Think again. That dreamy Middle Ages? Brave knights, fancy ladies, big feasts is a storybook. Lie, the real world was dirty, mean, and unfair. Rank was everything, born poor, born rich. You might live, but one bad soup could mean sickness, and a fast grave. Even lords lived in cold castles with bugs and forced marriages not fancy. You woke in dirt, dumped a bucket in the street, brushed your teeth with hope, almost passed out from hunger, worked till your back hurt, scratched itchy wool, prayed to avoid plague, and just missed getting killed for owning a squirrel fighting S. Not a problem, it's how things work life. Weak justice is random and your neighbor might hit you over a pig. No better life, no real doctors, no way to look up. Weird rash at 14, Sophie came to St. Petersburg in 1744, cold and thin. German clothes but smiling, smart. You lived, hurt and died near where you were born. Not because life was easy, but because people down T give up. So tonight when you get in your clean bed with plumbing, medicine and heat, say a quiet thanks to the modern world and your ancestors, who fought rats, hunger and lords so you didn't. T have to walk careful, look down, and Don T trust. Anyone with a stick, your opinion, docent T Mata, Russia. Love and smart ideas, she wrote. Two big thinkers invited them to her court, and bought their books to help them. Yuri, your husband's thing, expected to make babies, feed everyone, keep the house going, and not complain because that might make you a nag, or which means drowning or burning. Having babies is dangerous. No doctor stuff. No clean tools, no pain help midwives try, but problems often mean death. For mom, baby, or both. Have 10 babies. You've fought dirt, hunger, and unfairness. But now comes fighting, loud, bloody, and often. Works like Henry Ford Hospital showed her pain, baby loss, surgeries, hurt, law and order. More like hoping the Lord's not mad fighting. Everywhere. Homes, streets, wars, even waiting for bread, steal bread. Prove you good with a test. Put your hand in boiling water to grab a stone. If it heals in 3 days, you good if not bad. Or get thrown in a river sink. You good float, you bad it. A medieval game where you win by living and the host wants you to lose. Killings or big shows, hangings, burnings with crowds, eating snacks. You've made it through bugs, leeches, and the chance of getting cut up. But now the last part, an early bad death. Death comes quiet to plague, kills cities, famine, empties villages, or bad food makes you see things till you die. So how was your day? The simple times weren't simple, they were tough. Everything hurt more, from babies to chewing. Now let's talk about a woman who broke her time. Rules Catherine the Great. When Russia's Empress Elizabeth needed a wife for her heir Grand Duke Peter, she chose Sophie. Catherine's marriage to Peter was a trap, not a prize. In 1762, after Elizabeth died, Catherine didn't just she changed part 4. Catherine also grew Russia's land, fighting the Ottoman Empire in the 1760s and 1770s, taking Crimea and seaports. Her private life, just as big. Catherine took lovers, young, good-looking, often important, giving them titles or money. In 1773, her biggest test came the Pugachev Rebellion. A man Yemelia, Pugachev said he was Peter III, promising to free workers and cut taxes by her last year. Catherine led for over 3 decades, longer than any woman in Russia. Now let us go to the Chiapas jungle where Palenque's ruins hold Maya secrets. Cinnabar, bright and dangerous, meant blood, new life, and gods to the Maya. Covering her in it wasn't just a ritual, it was making her holy. Maya women like Zakbua Jah had real power. Helpers, priests, leaders, Sak Kuk led Palenque before Pakal and other women did rituals and wars last? Let us meet Frida Kahlo, born July 6, 1907 Pulgas Coyoacan S. Blue House, raised by a quiet German-Hungarian dad and a religious Mexican mom. Frida was bold and curious. Frida's art was real self-pictures of pain, not showing off. In the 1930s, Frida painted in the U.S. hating its rich ways from Mexico's realness. Despite over 30 surgeries and constant pain, Frida's art got darker, stronger.